Welcome, everybody. Cannabis News. I'm here with Joe Klare. It's February 21st, 2020. I don't know why that graphic moves so fast. If I can fix that. It's faster than I used to, and it's faster than I wanted to. It's very abrupt, disconcerting. I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for chill, nice transitions between graphics and myself. Anyway, welcome, everybody. As I said, Cannabis News. I'm here with Joe Klare. Of course, the show, as always, is presented by the Marijuana Times. Find us at marijuanatimes.org. Click the video tab there to find this show. A lot of great articles as well. Follow the cannabis community and industry and beyond with the amazing articles and more. At marijuanatimes.org. Today, we're talking about the Lego Box of Legalization also. NFL and their marijuana policy changes may be coming. And Lake Superior State University has something very special. Talk about that. All of that coming up. First, of course, Cannabis News is brought to you by NatureSide, nature-side.com, and their organic, all-natural pesticides. Grow safe and poison-free with NatureSide. Don't use harmful chemicals or banned pesticides on what you're growing, whether it's cannabis or anything else that people are going to be ingesting. Get NatureSide, nature-side.com. Proud sponsor of Cannabis News now for, yes, 600 episodes. Thank you to NatureSide. Thank you to everyone who's got us to this point. Here's the 600 more. The first story by yours truly at marijuanatimes.org. The Lego Box of Legalization. Now, I've been circling this idea for quite a while. If you watch the show a lot or you read my articles, this is something that's I've talked a lot about over the last several months to a year is the way we're going about, well, I've talked about the way we're going about legalization for a long time, obviously, but the way things have gone over the last year, and I think I came up with a pretty good metaphor, and that is the Lego Box of Legalization. You can check it out at marijuanatimes.org or check it out by clicking the link to the story in the description of this video, but basically the premise is this. You imagine you have a perfectly square box, yay big, kind of big, whatever, and it's filled with perfectly placed Legos. They're stacked together neatly. They're placed in the box. They fill the box completely. All of the inside of the box is completely filled with the stacked Legos. That represents marijuana before Prohibition. Prohibition, of course, is picking up of the box and turning it over and shaking it and dumping out the Legos, and they go everywhere and they shatter on the floor and they come apart. And now you have an empty box with no Legos in it. That's Prohibition. Where we're going about legalization is instead of just placing the blocks back in. Now, obviously, in a perfect world, the box is not dumped over in the first place. You don't have to worry about it. But it is. It's empty. We got to fill it back up. What we're doing is we're just taking blocks and just tossing them in there. We're not stacking them. We're not placing them. We're just taking individual blocks and throwing them in there. Worse than that, when it comes to our Lego box, we can't just throw them back in there or decide to not throw them in there or to stack them in there the way we want. We got opinions from everybody. Everybody lives around us. They got to have an opinion on how the blocks go back in the box. Or maybe they'll elect a representative and they'll have an opinion on how the blocks go back in the box. And everybody has an opinion. Everybody gets their 2 cents. And everybody has the same say in how your blocks go back in your box. And it's none of their business. I'm sorry I keep hitting this wire. That's very annoying. It's none of their business how it goes back in. And the result is you're tossing Legos back in this box, and what you're going to be left with is, even if you do fill the box, you're going to have a bunch of Legos left over because there's not enough room. You're not filling up the space efficiently. So we got Prohibition. Now we're doing legalization, and we're just doing it haphazardly. A bit here, a drip there, restrictions, regulations, high taxes, strict control by local, state, and someday federal government, once the federal government gets around to ending Prohibition. Obviously, that's what we want. But make no mistake, they're going to have their own layers of taxes and regulations and controls that they want to put over the marijuana industry, just like local jurisdictions and state jurisdictions. And it's not the best way to do it. And I know you could say that about just about anything, but in this particular case, this could just be done so much better. And it's a shame. It's a shame. There's a real opportunity to take the black market and that huge, whatever it is, 20 in the U.S., 20, 25 million, 30 million regular marijuana users, and move them to the legal market. But there's just all manner of problems being thrown up by governments all across this country to that end. So it's not happening the way it should. And I don't know what I can do about that. I'm not running for office. I don't plan on it. If I did, it wouldn't matter. No matter what office it was. If I won, it wouldn't matter. None of it would matter. That's the problem. So what can I do? Well, I can do a video show and write articles and do a podcast, and that's it. In the age of the internet, all I can do is put my little bit out there and hope it helps. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. That would suck. No. After all this, people say, no, it didn't help at all. Come on. 600 episodes. That does something, right? This next story from Forbes.com. NFL would end marijuana suspensions in a deal approved by team owners. National Football League players would no longer face the possibility of being suspended from games just for testing positive for marijuana under a proposed collective bargaining agreement approved by team owners and circulated to players. The new policy, being floated for approval by the NFL Players Association, would also reduce the number of players subject to testing for cannabis and narrow the window when tests can be administered from the current 4 months to just 2 weeks at the start of training camp. The 3-page summary of key terms of the union deal also includes an increase in the threshold for positive THC metabolite tests from 35 to 150 nanograms. The document was posted on Twitter. Details potentially dramatically reduced penalties. Began a service in press reports earlier this month. If the deal is ratified, the NFL will become the latest major sports league to loosen restrictions for cannabis as a growing number of states enact legalization policies. Of course, there's been a lot of controversy and talk around the NFL, especially with former players coming out in large numbers and saying, this is ridiculous. The players they can take, get shot up with steroid shots or, take all manner of pain-killing shots and narcotics or whatnot. But somehow marijuana is a problem when it helps a lot of current and retired players with ailments that were directly caused by football. So, good for the NFL and NFL players. All progress is progress. I mean, it's good. Whether it's the NFL or a state or a city or, your block, it all works toward it. It's all doing the best to get the Legos back in the box, as many of them as we can. Maybe try to fit some of them together to take I don't know. It's a good metaphor, though. I'm proud of it. The Lego Box of Legalization. This last story. From 9 and 10 news.com, which I've never seen that before. 9 and 10 news. They've combined. Are they in both channels? I don't know. I'm not familiar. In any case. Inside Lake Superior State University's new Cannabis Center of Excellence. I wish I would have taken that name. Cannabis Center of Excellence. But I didn't. They beat me to it. So lost. That name is lost forever. That's why I can name this studio the Cannabis Center of Excellence. Oh well. You can't win them all, as they say. It started as the first cannabis chemistry program in the nation, and now Lake Superior State University is also home to a state-of-the-art cannabis laboratory. It's called, of course, as I just said many, many times, the Cannabis Center of Excellence. It's giving students the opportunity for hands-on cannabis research. Cannabis is really opening up a whole new field, said Lake Superior State cannabis chemistry student Lucas Shevert. Imagine them being a cannabis chemistry student. That's pretty cool. That's what I want to be when I grow up. Lake Superior State cannabis chemistry students now have a new lab to learn, discover, and create. And the new lab gives students hands-on opportunities to study cannabis. Each machine has a special purpose. You get to use these different machines that a lot of schools don't have, so having the opportunity to use this machinery makes the experience way better, said Mindy Mintka, another cannabis chemistry student. Cannabis chemistry professor Ben Southwell says it helps bring it all together for students. As a professor, you talk to your students a lot. That's the traditional model, he said. But then you're able to bring them in and show them what they're actually learning. These skills are for. What these theories mean, it really kind of ties the knowledge all together. One day, this won't even be a story. Nobody will even give it a second thought. It's big now, obviously, because it's the first of its kind and it's novel and it makes news. But 20 years from now, something like this won't make news at all because there'll be hundreds, if not thousands, of similar programs and degrees across the U.S. and across the world. But for now, we're in the beginning stages of this, and it's true. There's a lot about the cannabis plant, the actual, not the act, not the, I was going to say the mechanics of it, but the biology of it and how it works and how everything works together and what we still don't know about it. It's just such a huge, dense area of study and learning things, and it can be so beneficial to people. It's great. If I wasn't doing this, I would be in cannabis chemistry. Well, maybe not that. I don't think I was very good at chemistry. I don't remember much from high school, but I wasn't. I mean, I think if I was good at it, I remember more. If I was great at chemistry, I was great at Western civilization, which is just really history, and geography. I was great at that too, but chemistry, I don't remember much. Wasn't my thing. I was good at video podcasting in high school. I'm just kidding. That didn't exist. I'm old. Thanks, everybody. It's the end of another week and 600 episodes of Cannabis News. As I said, thank you all for helping us spread the truth about cannabis with this show and getting us through 600 episodes. Crazy. 5 days a week, we're here at Cannabis News. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube, The Marijuana Times, or just find us at marijuanatimes.org. Thank you to Nature Side for being here for 600 episodes. nature-side.com. Go enjoy the weekend. Be safe. We will start the next 600 episodes next week, right here on Cannabis News.